Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic and your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I wanted to talk about something that has been in the news recently, and I've had a few questions about in the comment section. And I've had a few people ask that I make a video about this topic. So here we go. So to start with, no one knows specific diagnoses for these people. Will Smith and Jada Smith. Now with that being said, as we've talked about before, you don't need to have a diagnosis to get a possible idea what is happening. You just need good eyes to see, good ears to hear, and the ability to take a step back and discern. So, what do we know about their situation? We do know that Jada has been over the last couple of years making Will Smith look like a fool in public. You see, I mentioned something before in one of my recently videos regarding cheaters that get caught on these cheater shows that are out there. I noticed there were only a very small percentage of cheaters that hung their head in shame and told the person they cheated on that they did nothing wrong, and that they were ashamed of themselves. Most of the time, the cheater will double and triple down on their arrogance and their reasons why they did what they did. They might even mock the person they cheated on. Now, one can say, this could be this person acting this way because of the pressure of being caught. But if you take a step back, you might be able to see the pressure of such a situation actually brought out the real person they were. But they just never showed it to you. You see, Will Smith was married to another woman before Jada. I don't have a ton of information on their relationship. However, I do believe that Will pursued Jada pretty hard. And in the beginning, just like many of our toxic relationships, there were some red flags. But it was the super highs that kept us there and interested to see things through. I mean, you have a couple living at the top of Hollywood's mountain. I'm pretty sure that was intoxicating for both parties. But I could be wrong. But I believe that Will thought he found what he wanted in life. Now please know this. What we want or what we think we need might not be what we really need. Because God knows our needs before we ask Him. And sometimes, or even a lot of the times, God will give us something else right in front of our faces. And it's that something else that is much better for us. But it might not be as shiny or intoxicating. And sadly sometimes, a great many people walk away from God's gift to us, not even really understanding it was a gift. And instead we entertain the devil and his empty promises and empty gifts. So what red flags could Will Smith have seen? Jada's temper. Will has mentioned at times she has yelled at him in public. Such as being yelled at Hollywood parties. Another is being compared to Tupac. As if Tupac is the figure that she misses and even might desire to have in her life. Instead of focusing her desires for the man that loves her. Will Smith. Now again, we don't have diagnosis of these people. But what we do know is, narcissists will compare you to a variety of people. All with the goal of devaluing you. You see, within the first few months of knowing a narcissist, it's great. You can do no wrong. They look to you for advice. They treat you like you are the expert on everything. They don't show their temper to you. And you feel like you are on cloud 9. Then after a little bit of time has passed, and they feel they have you addicted to them. Through their love bombing. Because love bombing will make all of these happy chemicals shoot off in your brain. thus bonding you to this person and thus making you addicted to this treatment. So once they know they have you, they do a switch up. And they start to pick arguments or fights with you for little to no reason. They start to question everything you say and everything you do. No longer are you the trusted expert. And they start to compare you to other people that are or were in their lives at one point. To the point you feel like you can never measure up. You see, the narcissist's goal is to get you in a mode where you have no self-esteem. And you feel like you constantly have to prove your worth to them. And the longer this happens, the more toxic behavioral traits you will take on. Here's something to think about. When Will Smith was a young rapper, you don't hear many people having bad things to say about him. However, well into his marriage with Jada, you hear of stories from a variety of actors of this toxic, pushy and even threatening behavior. Now, could Will Smith have been like this all along? Sure. Bad toxic people partner up often. And when this happens, there still is usually one that acts like the puppet master. They will make sure they are the smart one in the family and they will find a impulsive toxic partner that they can push their buttons. And use them as an attack dog, so to speak. But then there are those that are good-natured, yet codependent in their behavior. And sadly, the longer they spend with evil, the more evil rubs off on them. Because they feel this is what their partner wants to be. I've heard some of these stories of Will Smith kind of acting like a bully to others in the past years. And then it's been said that Jada compares Will Smith to Tupac. As if Tupac is so much higher up than her own husband. Then I ask myself, is Will Smith doing all of these things to try to act like what he thinks a Tupac character would act like? You see, having low to no self-esteem and feeling the need to prove yourself to others can cost someone their freedom. And it can cost someone their very life. There are kids right now that have no business hanging out with the tough kids or kids in a gang. And they throw their entire lives away with one terrible act that they in their mind at that moment think, this is what tough looks like. And they are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Now this is where we get into the man-woman thing here. There are a lot of women that are happy that Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. In the defense of her so-called honor. Ladies, I want to tell you something. If you have a son, you better make sure he stays clear of such a woman. Because such a woman could cost your son his freedom or his very life. Look. There are videos out there of women openly talking about they want a scammer and or hustler. That they can't date a 9-to-5 man. And guess what is happening? If that young man has no guidance, he might throw his entire life away to do something stupid to prove he's a hustler or and whatever you want to call it. All for a woman that doesn't care about him. Heck, she doesn't even care about herself. And he gets locked up. She's on to the next one. And another one goes to jail and another. All to prove they aren't a chump. And that they are cool. And that they can get that fast money. And that they can fight someone that bumps into his woman by accident at the checkout line at the grocery store. This is the evil Jezebel spirit. You see, Jada could have easily said, "Will honey come back?" Or she could have said, "Not now. This is your night. Let it slide." From her body language and reaction. And I could be completely wrong on this. But it seems she enjoyed what took place with Will going up on stage and ruining his life for the honor of someone that has no honor. She doesn't protect him. She makes him look stupid at every turn. Yet here he is. Ready to attack. I do think that Will quite possibly has gone through a lot dealing and living with Jada. And he blew. But that isn't Chris Rock's fault. But this should be a lesson as to why you should get away from someone toxic. No matter if they are a narcissist or not. Because you just don't know. You as the decent person. You just might find yourself doing something evil in that one split second that can change you from being decent to being the villain. Which is where the toxic person wants you to be. In the hot seat of being the villain. While they sit in the chair of victim. Will Smith wasn't protecting anyone's anything. It appeared he was just trying to measure up to what he thought was expected of him by people that really don't care about him at all. Will Smith was and is wrong. But what about Jada? What about Jada? Well, that's all I have for today. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.